Hi everybody, hope all of you are well, and today we will continue your chapter 1. Last day we have discussed about molal solution. So if we dissolve 1 mole solute in 1000 gram of solvent, then it is called 1 molal solution. So today we will start from mole fraction. Now what is mole fraction? That we will discuss. Mole fraction is generally denoted by X, okay, and it is the ratio of the number of moles of one component to the total number of moles of substance in the solution. Okay, suppose if a binary solution contains n1 mole solvent, so a binary solution contains n1 mole, okay, n1 moles of the solvent. Okay, and n2 moles of solute, and n2 mole solute. Now in solution, okay, n2 moles of solute, okay, n2 moles solute, then we may write here that after mixing the total number of mole will be n1 plus n2. n1 plus n2 will be the total number of moles. Total number of moles. Okay. Now here we have to find out the mole fraction. Okay. Mole fraction is the ratio of the number of moles of one component to the total number of moles. So mole fraction of solvent, if it is x1, then it will be equal to, solvent is n1 mole and solute n2 mole, so n1 by n1 plus n2. This is the mole fraction of the solvent. Now if we discuss the mole fraction of the solute, so mole fraction of solute, that will be x2. Okay, so this x2 will be equal to n2 divided by n1 plus n2. Okay, this is the ratio. Now here, if you add these two mole fraction, that is x1 plus x2, you will get n1 divided by n1 plus n2 plus n2 divided by n1 plus n2. So that means you are getting 1. Okay, so always the addition of all mole fraction will be equal to 1. Okay, so numericals also you will practice from this concept. Next we will discuss another term, that is called parts per million. Okay, parts per million. It is generally denoted as ppm. Okay, now what is the definition? It is defined as the number of parts of a component per million parts of the solution. So ppm of a component is equal to the mass of the component divided by the total mass of the solution into 10 to the power 6. Okay. Now if we take one example, then you can easily understand. Okay. So example I am taking that 500 ml of water, okay, contains 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram of chlorine. Okay. Now here we have to calculate the ppm, the parts per million of chlorine. So here total amount is given that the mass of the component 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram divided by the total mass of the solution. So here 500 ml water is there. If 1 ml water mass is 1 gram, because density of water 1 gram per ml or per centimeter cube. Okay. So here we can write 500 gram into 10 to the power 6. So if you calculate this value, you will get 4. So in this way we can easily calculate the parts per million. Okay. Generally when the quantity is very low, suppose in our drinking water there is certain percentage of arsenic. Okay. So that concentration is very low, that will generally expressed in ppm, parts per million. Okay. If the level of the arsenic increases, okay, then it can cause disease also. Next we will discuss another term that is called limiting reagent or limiting reactant. Limiting reactant. Now from this word you can understand limit, the reactant or reagent which is completely consumed during a chemical reaction, and it determines the amount of product formed is called the limiting reagent or limiting reactant. We can take one example, suppose burning of paper in air. So here paper consists of what? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. It may be it is made from cellulose. Okay. So the limited amount of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, that cellulose is there, and oxygen is sufficient. So if we burn the paper, so one time all will converted into ash. So what is the limiting reagent here? Your paper is the limiting reagent. Okay. But as in air oxygen is excess amount, so it is not the limiting reagent. So hope you can understand. If we discuss one problem, then you can easily understand what is limiting reagent. We are taking one numerical, okay, of this limiting reactant or limiting reagent. Problem is given that an experiment 0.3 mole, okay, of Fe2O3, that means ferric oxide, okay, was heated with 1.20 ml, sorry, 1.20 mole of CO, carbon monoxide, to give iron accordingly to the reaction. According to the reaction. It is Fe2O3 plus thrice CO twice Fe plus thrice CO2. Okay. What is the limiting reactant here? What is the limiting reactant? And what is the theoretical yield of iron? What is the theoretical yield of iron? So in this question, first we have to write the balanced equation. Here already the equation is balanced. This is given. There is Fe2O3 plus thrice CO twice Ap plus thrice CO. So from this equation we can easily understand that 1 mole Fe2O3 will react with 3 mole of carbon monoxide, okay, and forming 2 mole of iron. So the iron atomic mass is 56, that means 2 into 56 gram. If you calculate, you will get 112 gram iron will generate. Now here in your question is given that 0.3 mole Fe2O3. So 1 mole Fe2O3 required 3 mole CO. So 0.3 mole of Fe2O3 will require 0.3 into 3 mole, that will be 0.9 mole carbon monoxide, okay. Since 1.2 mole of carbon monoxide is present, here it is given that 1.20 mole carbon monoxide is present. So Fe2O3 amount is that 0.3 mole. So the amount of CO required is 0.9 mole. So the iron oxide will be completely consumed. Understand? So hence Fe2O3, this one is the limiting reagent. Again I am telling that we have taken 0.3 mole Fe2O3. This 0.3 mole Fe2O3 will react with 0.9 mole of CO. But here amount of CO is given 1.20 mole. So that is excess. So during reaction Fe2O3 will be completely consumed. That is why it is called limiting reagent. Okay. So hope you can understand. Next we will discuss the amount of iron formed or the yield, theoretical yield of iron. So from this equation we can write that 1 mole Fe2O3 will produce how much? 112 gram iron. So 0.3 mole Fe2O3 will produce 112 into 0.3 gram. So if you calculate, you will get 33.6 gram of iron. Okay. So in this way you can easily solve this type of limiting reactant problems. Next I will discuss some numericals, okay, based on the molality, normality, molarity, formality, etc. Okay. These problems are very important, okay, and questions will come from your exam. Even in the entrance also they are giving questions from these concentration terms, normality, molarity, molality, formality, etc. So first question I am writing here. Question 1. 3.92 gram H2SO4 is dissolved in 200 gram water. Okay. Calculate the molality of the solution. Calculate the molality of the solution. Okay. So here it is written that 200 gram H2SO4, 3.92 gram H2SO4 is dissolved in 200 gram water. Okay. So we have to find out the 1000 gram solvent. How much mole is present in 1000 gram solvent? So 200 gram water, okay, contains 3.92 gram H2SO4. So 1000 gram solvent means 1000 gram water contains 3.92 divided by 200 into 1000 gram H2SO4. Calculate it 5. If you multiply it, you will get 19.60 gram H2SO4. Now you have to find out the how much mole of 19.60 gram H2SO4. You know that molar mass or gram molar mass of H2SO4, if you calculate, you will get 98. Gram molar mass means 98 gram. So from here we can easily calculate that 19.60 gram is equal to how much mole. So 98 gram H2SO4 equivalent to 1 mole. So 19.60 gram H2SO4 is equal to 19.60 divided by 98 mole. If we calculate it, we will get 0.2 mole. So that will be the molality of the solution. So the molality of the solution is 0.2 molar. Okay, molality is generally represented by small m. So in this way you can easily solve this type of problem. Next, another problem based on the normality we will discuss. Question is given, calculate the normality of a solution obtained by dissolving 6.3 gram of hydrated oxalic acid, okay, in 250 ml water. So first you have to know the formula of oxalic acid. So oxalic acid formula is COOH twice H2, that is the water crystallization. Now if you calculate the molar mass, you will get 126. Okay, and here you observe one thing, that in oxalic acid there is 2 replaceable hydrogen atom. Okay, so from here we can find out the equivalent weight of an acid, that is the weight of the molecular mass or molecular weight of the acid divided by the replaceable hydrogen atom or acidity or basicity of the acid. Okay, so here equivalent weight of oxalic acid is equal to 126 divided by 2. If you calculate, you will get the 63. Now here it is given that 250 ml solution, 6.3 gram hydrated oxalic acid is present. Okay, so 250 ml solution contains 6.3 gram oxalic acid. So here we have to calculate that 1 liter solution, okay, that means 1000 ml contains how much? 6.3 divided by 250 into 1000 gram oxalic acid. Now if you calculate it, you will get the value 25.2 gram per liter. Okay, now here you have to find out the gram equivalent weight. So we know that 63 gram oxalic acid equivalent to 1 gram equivalent weight. Okay. So 25.2 gram oxalic acid equivalent to 25.2 divided by 63 gram equivalent weight. Now if you calculate it, you will get the value 0.4. So in 1000 ml or 1 liter solution, okay, how much gram equivalent weight of oxalic acid is there? That is 0.4. So this is the normality of the solution. So therefore the normality of the solution is 0.4 normal. Okay, that will be your answer. So in this way you have to solve this type of problem. In your book, okay, that is Kale-Chuk or any others, many problems are already solved. You please go through this problem and practice in your home, and exercise are also given. I am giving exercise you as worksheet. Exercise are also solved in your book, okay. So if you cannot understand, then you can ask me, okay. And here it is not possible to discuss all the problems, but I am trying to discuss the different types of problems, okay. Next, another problem we will discuss, very easy, that is the calculate the molarity of water. Calculate the molarity of water if its density is given, that is 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay. Now first we have to look at this density. We have to convert into liter. So that is density is given. Density of water is given. That is 1000 kg per meter cube. So from here we can write that 1000 kg, or we can write that 1 kg per decimeter cube. Okay. So from here we can write 1 liter water is equal to 1 kg is equal to decimeter. 1 decimeter cube means 1 liter. So 1 liter water means 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram. So now we know that the 1 mole water is equal to 18 gram. So in 1000 gram how much mole is present, that you have to calculate. So therefore the number of moles of water in 1000 gram, that will be 1000 divided by 18. If you calculate it, you will get 55.55. So this is the molarity of water. The molarity of water is equal to 55.55. So in 1 liter solution, how much mole is present? Okay, 1 liter solution means 1000 gram. So we are converting into mole. So that is 55.55. That is the molarity of water. So molarity 0.55 molarity. Okay. Next I will discuss another very interesting problem. Here a new formula is required. Suppose you have two solutions, okay, both are acid, and two solutions have different normality strength. Then what will be the normality of the resulting solution? So here the formula will be NRVR is equal to N1V1 plus N2V2. N1V1 is the normality of one acid solution of volume V1, and N2 is the normality of another acid solution, okay, of volume V2. So here I am giving one problem so that you can easily understand. Question is given that what volume of N by 2 and n by 10 H2SO4 must be mixed to prepare 5 liters of n by 5 H2SO4. This type of problem is very important for your exam also. Okay, so just now I told you that NR/VR is equal to N1V1 plus N2V2. Now the resulting solution will be n by 5 and volume required is 5 liter, and one solution is n by 2 taking the volume V, then other will be the given n by 10. So if total volume is 5 liter, so it will be 5 minus V. Okay, now if we calculate the value of V from this equation, we will get 1.25. Okay, 25 liters. So another volume will be 5 minus V, that will be 3.75 liter. Okay, so from here we can easily understand to prepare the 5 liter n by 5 H2SO4, the volume of n by 2 strength of acid H2SO sulfuric acid, we have to take 1.25 liter, and n by 10 strength of sulfuric acid, we have to take 3.75 liter. So if we mix 3.75 liter of n by 10 and 1.25 liter of n by 2, then we can easily prepare the 5 liters of n by 5 H2SO. Hope you can understand, and this type of problem you will practice, okay, in your home. If you have any problem, again I am telling you without hesitation, okay, you can ask me. Okay, so next day we will discuss more problems from this chapter, then we will go to the next chapter. Okay, thank you.